All right, back at it. Fly shop opened back up. Got some material. Today we're gonna do some. Got one of some that I thought were good ones on Pomme de Terre. We're gonna do some solid white ones with a little bit of red flash in it. Pretty simple, pretty basic. Start out with your base, clear fingernail polish. Start with a good thread wrap all the way down to the shank of the hook. Let's go right there. Let's work it back up. Yeah, I was pretty glad my Plateau Fly Shop, Springfield, doors opened back up. There was a lot of material I was behind on, and I couldn't tie. I was at points where I could tie one or two of these, but I couldn't put like a big order together. Like I couldn't tie five or six or a dozen of anything. You know, I was down that far in material. So now it's just a matter of time, just getting my stock built back up, and hopefully I can start getting some orders to go back through. I've turned a lot of people down since the COVID-19 began. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna start out with my flash right on top of my thread base and tie it all the way down to the shank or to the tip of the hook. I got a little bit of it up underneath there, and I'm gonna double it back, holding it together. I got it all looped up. Then we're going to tie it right back on the base too. So that way I'm using the whole entire piece of flash, and what's going to be sticking out is probably going to be too long. But I'm going to give whoever buys these the option to trim it off however they want to. I mean, because you can see how far I got that out behind that hook. You got almost a jig head and a half length behind it. And we're just going to cut it off like that. I think we're going to cut off a little bit more than that. We don't. Let's go right there. And we'll save those other 4 pieces for our next jig. And we're going to wrap it all the way back up to the head and then back down about a 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. And we're going to use this material in the tail. It's spinnerbait skirts that I got from Bass Pro a while back. And some of them, I don't know how good you can see it, but some of them are like a dull white, and then there's some in there that are reflective. Now, my camera's really not going to pick that up that great, but you can see it a lot when you're close to it. We're going to cut off about the length of the whole jig head and about one more length of that behind it. We're going to kind of let it spread all the way around the shank of the hook. We're going to give it a couple loose wraps just to make sure we got the whole body tied in. Then we're going to start cinching it down. And as you're tying this on, it kind of wants to wrap around the hook. Let it. Don't try to stop it. Don't try to keep it held out straight, or you'll end up with like kind of like a bald spot right there in the middle of it. So let the thread pull it around for you. A lot of my videos and a lot of the jigs I tie, I keep it held back, especially on hackle and marabou. But when it comes down to the rubber legs, I don't. I let it go all the way. I let the thread pull it and wrap it. So we got it there to our back up to the head, and we are using a Chanel. I'm trying to find a package. Somebody asked me last week about the name, the brand of that, and I just bought some today, some that was black. And let's see, it is called Medium Trillobal Antron Chanel, Trilobal. It's probably completely, totally backwards, but that's it. I get this from Plateau Fly Shop in Springfield, Missouri. You can also, I'm pretty sure you can probably get it from Hairline Dubbin. It's a really thick, durable material. And I really like the way when you wrap it back up, you don't really see a lot of seams with it. It makes a solid, kind of gives the illusion of a really solid body, like it's one piece. It's not. It don't really look wrapped. But you can overdo it with this type of chenille. It's even the medium, the small, is thick. So you got to be careful on how much you want to wrap, how thick you want to make that body of this jig. And you don't want to pull this super tight or it starts to break loose here in the middle. So I come down about it how far I think how much I'm going to need. And then I just start pulling it around and keeping pressure on it without stretching it. But I really like how this chenille wraps. It's really thick, really full looking. And that wrap right there with our thread tied in the body to it. So now we're going to do our whip finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull it out. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pop it out. Pull your tool out. Trim that thread off right there against the neck. Get a dab of glue on it. Make sure it all stays together for us. Right there at the end of it and right up there where our knot is. And it don't take much. It ties up pretty good. So when you get completely done, straighten the skirt out just a little bit. Might have had not quite enough on the bottom of it, but I think it did. You tied it in there pretty good. That's what we end up with. Solid white with a little red flash in the end of it, just enough to give it that kind of offset color. It's a nice jig. Tied 2 of them up like that. Both the exact same. And I'm going to do some red and gold next. If you ever watch Richard Jean, the Fishing Machine, he swears that the red and gold is really good in muddy water. And everybody's been dealing with muddy water all spring, so let's give that a shot next to see what happens. Any questions, comments, let me know. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Something else you want to see tied, now that I got my material back, I can start experimenting a little bit more. But subscribe, let me know what you think. See ya.